Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. I'm Sterling and this is Tuesday Tricks. In this series, I'm going to teach you how to perform some beginner magic illusions that you can practice and perform for your friends and family. To access future videos, you will need a password, which I will reveal later on. As this video is being recorded, we are in a crisis. Many of us are facing new challenges every day. But as we are in our homes, binging shows, watching movies, reading books and listening to music, remember that it is often in times of great hardship that people turn to artists and entertainers, when the world around us seems blank and empty. It's the perspective of artists and entertainers that create magic. The reason I enjoy reading science fiction and fantasy books is because since it isn't about anyone who exists in reality, there's always the possibility that it is written about ourselves or who we could be. This series has been in the works for some time now, about 2 years, and it all came about because many parents and kids from my home state of Washington, or personally at my shows in Cabo, have asked me if I would be willing to teach them how to perform magic. My answer every time is yes. I would be delighted, under one condition. The first rule of magic is that a magician never reveals how a trick is accomplished. Luckily, there is an exception. The exception is to other magicians, or someone who is truly interested in learning how to perform magic. If you simply want to know the secrets the magicians have passed on from generation to generation, this series perhaps isn't for you. But if you want to perform for your fellow peers, to spread the joy and wonder that so many have before us, then let's get started. Welcome to Tuesday Tricks. We need to select a card, but first I need you to make sure that all the cards are different. You can see all the cards are different. 52 cards, 54 if we count the 2 jokers. I'll thumb down the side of the deck and you just tell me when to stop, whenever you feel the urge, okay? You can really stop whenever. Perhaps it's right there, maybe a little further, that's okay too. We'll stop right there, okay? Now, that card, I'd like you to take a look at it and memorize it, okay? Commit this card to memory as we put it back into the middle of the deck. Did you remember it? Good. Now, you could have chosen any one of these 52. You could have stopped anywhere you want, but you chose one of these cards, and I'm going to try to find it by reading your mind, okay? It's very difficult to do through the camera, but I'll do my best. First of all, was your card a red card or a black card? Just answer in your mind. Interesting. That was hard to get a response on that. A black card? I think that's the overwhelming response. And was it a spade or a club? Once again, it's kind of difficult to read what you're thinking. Maybe I'll just run my finger down the cards like this, and I'll see if I can try to stop. Interesting. Oh, now I see why I was so confused. Did you pick the Joker? Well, thank you. For our very first edition of Tuesday Tricks, I will be teaching you a card trick. A deck of cards is where the journey of many magicians has begun, and I see no need to break with that tradition. So you will need a deck of cards. It can be from your friend, it can be at home in that cupboard that never gets used. So just find a deck of cards and we will begin. This was the very first card trick that I ever learned, and I learned it when I was directed to the Linden Public Library because they had some books on how to perform some basic magic tricks. And so I went there and picked out the first book, and it was, I can't remember exactly what the book was, but it taught this method of how to find a spectator's card. And the method is called a key card. And the key card has been a principle in magic for a very long time, since 1550. It was written by a man named Girolamo Cardano in his Latin book De Subtilitate. He was a Renaissance man, along with Leonardo da Vinci in that time, and the principle was explained because he was very interested in gambling. And this was a way to discern the location of cards. So, what you need is to have a card selected. I do that just by holding the deck in dealer's position like this. Dealer's position is with your thumb on the side, first finger on top and 3 fingers on this side. That allows you to keep the deck in control. You can talk and gesture and the cards stay put. Your other hand comes to stabilize and you run your thumb on the side of the deck just like this. And the spectator says stop whenever you want. Make sure to tell them say stop whenever you feel the urge. Do you want to go a little bit further? and they can if they want to. Let's say they stop there. You cut the deck in that position, and you have them choose this card right there, and you push it towards them like that. And you ask them to memorize the card. In this case, I'll just show you and point like this. Now, this is where I'm doing the secret. This is where I'm gaining the information known as the key card. And what I'm doing is when I'm pointing at the card the spectator picks, I'm looking at the bottom card like that. So they're memorizing their selection, and I'm memorizing this bottom card, which in this case is the 7 of clubs. So I say it over to myself a few times in my head, 7 of clubs, 7 of clubs, 7 of clubs. Don't say it out loud because that gives it away. So you look at this card right here, and I'm looking at it. I memorize this card. When their card is replaced, what I do is I take that, stack up the deck, and I put it right back on top. Now, I don't know what their card is, but what I do know is the location of my key card. So now I can reveal the card a few different ways. One, if I want to get that information first, maybe I want to know what the card is, I can spread the deck out in front of me, or I can thumb through the cards like this, and I'm looking for my key card. So I found my 7 of clubs. And in this case, this is really funny, the card right underneath it is the 7 of spades, which is the selection that the spectator picked. So 7 of clubs is above the 7 of spades, which means that is their card. Now, there's a couple of different ways to perform this. The one that was taught in the book, it was more of a bet, so to speak. So what you would do is you would have the cards and you would deal the cards down like this, one at a time. And then once the card is passed, the spectator sees their 7 of spades, but you continue on. And then you say, how much do you want to bet? The next card I turn over will be your card. And since they've already seen their card, they think, oh, well, I don't know. And then you go and you turn over their card like that and you show them the 7 of spades. It's okay. It's not my favorite presentation just because it's kind of about tricking the audience, and that's not what we're about here at Tuesday Tricks. So what I like to do is a bit of, you can present like mind reading is how I did it in the presentation. So I'm looking through, I find my key card, which is the 7 of clubs, and I know the card underneath it is their card, the 7 of spades. And now that I have that information, I can reveal it any way that I want to. One of my favorite ways to do it is to ask questions to the spectators. So I tell them to keep the best poker face that they can, which is to keep a blank expression. So then I say, was your card red or was it black? And I know it's black, but they don't know that I know that. So they'll keep a blank response, and then, oh, I see, I think your eye twitched a little bit right there. So I think it is a black card. Was it a spade or a club? Oh, yep, your foot twitched a little bit. That means it's a spade. And then there's ace through king. So I'll just say ace through king and then just try to keep a blank expression. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's the 7 of spades. So there's lots of different ways to reveal the card, and that's up to your imagination. So once again, just to brush up, you have the spectator pick a card, you thumb down the deck like this, they say stop whenever they want, you push the card to them, and as you do, that's when you get a glimpse. You peek at the bottom card of the deck, which is in this case the 10 of clubs. The card is replaced back on the deck, and you put your key card right on top of their card. So now when you go through the deck, you're able to search for your own 10 of clubs, and then you can reveal the card underneath it, which is the 6 of hearts. Make sure to practice in front of a mirror a few times, at least 3 times, before you show your friends and family. Enjoy. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for watching Tuesday Tricks. The password for next week's video will be revealed by my good friend Jack. So, Jack has the password. Let's see what he says. The password is Mago, right there, M-A-G-O. Make sure you type that password into the next one to access next week's video. Mago means wizard in Spanish. And to all of those of you who are at home right now watching this, I just hope that you're very well, and my heart goes out to you. Thank you for watching.